Welcome back to high school baseball on Comcast. Today we're in Concord. It's a beautiful day for baseball as the Clayton Valley Eagles host the Antioch Panthers. Dan Wall and John Whitman as always here on Comcast. And Coach, today, very interesting game between two teams, a little bit contrasting. Clayton Valley off to a fast start. Today we're going to see their number 3 starter. However, a lot of teams would probably list him as their number 1 starter, Scott Gorgon.
Yeah, he's got a great fastball, great curveball, and he's working on a change, which will keep the hitters honest.
Yeah, he's actually rumored to perhaps to be attending St. Mary's University next fall. His brother, of course, is Matt Gorgon. He'll be going to Cal and is their number 1 starting pitcher. For Antioch, Brandon Torsch is going to pitch today. We didn't think we would see him. The Panthers didn't think they'd have him in the lineup, but he recovered quickly from the broken wrist, and is their best hope out here today. The Panthers come in 3-9.
He's the right guy to have on the mound if there's going to be an upset here today at Clayton Valley. He's got a good fastball, good curveball, and he's also working on a changeup.
So it's Scott Gorgon against Brandon Torsch, the Eagles and the Panthers next on Comcast.
Take advantage today with rates at record lows. Charter Funding Incorporated of Antioch is your local mortgage broker whose commitment is service with integrity. Charter Funding Incorporated works with many lenders to find the best program to fit your needs. First-time home buyers, 100% financing, no down payment, and interest only. No one is left out. Whether it's a rate reduction, cash out, new purchase, good or bad credit, let the professionals at Charter Funding Incorporated handle all your loan details. Call us today at 776-1700.
What is a coach? A teacher, a motivator, a leader, the person who sees your athletic potential and maximizes it, regardless of the sport. At Velocity Sports Performance, you train with a highly qualified coach every time you train. Your coach makes you work hard, but your coach makes you a better athlete. Train with a coach who knows. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
Hi, I'm Rocco Bialy, and I'd like to welcome you to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria here in Walnut Creek. Rocco's is a great place for family dining. In addition to serving the best pizza in the East Bay, Rocco's also serves many classic Italian pasta specialties. Make Rocco's your home for your next team party. Great pizza, great pasta, great people. Rocco's! A part of your community.
For decades, Dolan's has been providing the finest quality name brands for new construction and home improvement. Superior names like Marvin, Anderson, Milgard, Posey, and more. But it's Dolan's low truckload pricing and tradition of superior customer service that makes this retailer preferred by builders, architects, and homeowners throughout the community. Visit your nearest Dolan's and discover how affordable the very best can be. And join Dolan's in supporting your local teams.
And there's the luxury boxes today from Clayton Valley High School coach, the Antioch Panthers and the Clayton Valley Eagles. And let's take a look at the Antioch lineup. We saw the Panthers last 2 weeks ago against Ignacio Valley. Bubba Kamajas leads off. He's the catcher. Alex Pantel at third base today bats second. Brandon Torsch, the pitcher, hits third. Mark Frias at first base batting fourth. Jason Namney, the shortstop, hits fifth. Logan Hildebrand in right field today will hit sixth. Dylan Long, the center fielder, bats seventh. Jason Sanchez in left field today hits eighth. And Mac McKinnon, the second baseman. And they will face Scott Gorgon.
Scotty, as I said earlier, has got a great fastball and a good curveball, and he's working on a change. Looked really good down in the bullpen, but it's one thing to be good in the bullpen, another thing to take it across those white lines.
Burmeister, Miller, and Locks in the outfield for Coach Ralston. Barrow Wells, Matt Gorgon, his brother, and Ryan Sprague over at first base today for the Eagles. Scott Gorgon on the mound, Alex Stoiber, the catcher. Scott Gorgon is actually the starting catcher for the Eagles, but they noticed in spring ball that he was throwing very well, and they brought him in. They have a very formidable rotation with his brother and Trevor Barrow, the third baseman, who's just a junior. First pitch of the ball game is a ground ball to second base. Nice play by Gorgon, over to Sprague in time for out number 1.
And the pitching is what has kept Clayton Valley in all their games this year. They haven't been producing a lot of runs at times, but the pitching has kept them in the games until they get to the late innings, and then they come up with a big hit. That's why they're 9-3 right now.
Yeah, they haven't scored a lot of runs. They lost that epic game in 9 innings to De La Salle last week, 3-2, but they did beat Deer Valley 5-1 on Tuesday. Barrow pitched 5 great innings of relief for the victory. This is Alex Pantel. So it's 2 pitches, and if Gorgon makes this play, 2 outs, and it is. And just like that, Antioch's making it real easy for Clayton Valley.
Now, at the top of the first inning, you like to settle in and take a few pitches so your teammates can see all his pitches. Now, Torsch has only seen 2 fastballs right now, so he does not really know what the changeup and the curveball are going to look like. That's one of your jobs, is if you bat in the top of the lineup.
It's to show everyone else what they should expect to see, especially the 3, 4, 5 hitters. And here's Torsha, one of the better hitters in the league. And there's the curveball, just like you mentioned. And it's a strike over the top kind of, Coach, a little bit of a slide to it.
Little slurve to it. And that would have been a crime if he had swung at that. You never want to have a 3-pitch inning. So the take was definitely on there.
It would have set a record sent by millions, but you're right. Not something you want to do, especially in the first on the road. 1-1 to Torsha. The only thing this stadium is missing is a scoreboard. Everything else is beautiful. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 to Torsha. Mark Frias, the first baseman, is the on-deck hitter for the Panthers here in the first inning. Beautiful day today. Gosh, it's warmed up nicely. Nice spring day. That was a fastball, and that was a big-time fastball, Coach. That one had some velocity on it and missed just low. 2-2.
That pitch could have gone either way.
By the way, Larry Anderson is behind the plate today, and Russ Lander on the bases, the umpires here today. 2-2 pitch, and there's a curveball. It's going to be a tough play. Barrow comes over, and also Wells. And so the only significance really in that play, Coach, because it wasn't a well-hit ball, is that it broke up the no-hitter.
Yep, got that out of the way. Here's a straight fastball, chops it, and no play at first base.
Yeah, neither Barrow or Wells could come in to make that play. So here's Mark Frias, the senior first baseman. Jason Namany, another senior. The shortstop is on deck here for Antioch. Panthers lost. And they picked off Torsha at first base. On the first pickoff move, Gorgon got Torsha, and that does it here for the first inning. So Antioch caught napping there on the base pass as Torsha's picked off by pitcher Gorgon, and that'll do it here in the top of the first. We're going to stay right here and give you the lineups for Clayton Valley and the defense for Antioch here as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Here's Coach Bob Ralston's lineup. Corey Miller, the center fielder, leads off. Randy Wells, we saw him on that last play on the Torsha hit, is the shortstop. He'll bat second. Aaron Locks is in right field today, hitting third. Trevor Barrow, the junior third baseman, will hit fourth. Scott Gorgon, the pitcher today, hits fifth. Vinny Levine, the designated hitter, in the sixth slot. Matt Gorgon, the second baseman, bats seventh. Ryan Sprague at first base today will hit eighth, and Bill Burmeister, who had a big home run the other day against Deer Valley, will hit ninth, and they'll face Brandon Torsha, the senior hurler for the Antioch Panthers.
Brandon hasn't pitched in a couple weeks due to his injury, but you know he was really looking excited about this game today. I had him in PE today, and he was really jacked up for this game today. He's got a good fastball and a good curve, and is working on his changeup. Now, if we having 2 weeks off, we'll see if he's a little bit rusty, but again, he's looking forward to this game today.
There's a defensive alignment for Antioch. Sanchez, Long, and Hildebrandt in the outfield. Pantel, Namany, McKinnon, and Frias in the infield. Torsha pitching. Bubba Kamaj is the great junior catcher behind the plate today for Coach Vern Martin. And, of course, Vern is helped out by Ed Bodine and Mike Jennings. I saw, of course, Ed Bodine before the game and asked him if he had to drive the bus over, Coach, and he said, yeah, that's why they have him here.
The throw was perfect.
Yeah.
Down to the bag.
Here's Corey Miller batting .358 on the year, the senior center fielder.
Corey's hitting .385, and was also the stolen base leader with 7.
That's a fastball inside 1-0. The wind is blowing from the left to right here today at Clayton Valley. You know, it's amazing, Coach, when you think back about the changes. And obviously, things are going to change over the years. But when I played baseball here, there was no fencing. The baseball field was just adequate, decent high school facility. They didn't play football here, and now they have a sparkling facility with the athletic turf over there. And this has really become one of the destinations, not only for us, but for teams to want to come and play. And Clayton Valley's really up the ante here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility, and the Clayton Valley area should be really proud of it.
Of course, Matt Mazzei, one of our great friends of the program and sponsors, helped with the funding for this facility. There's the football field where we'll no doubt do a game next year, and there's some batting cages built out there, and just a great place, great school, and a lot of fun. A lot of kids that recognize me in the hallways walking through here. I thought, oh, that's nice, you know, people actually know who we are, Coach.
They know who you are.
Walk to Miller, and they know who you are as well, Coach. Don't forget the Comcast Game of the Week, only seen on your Comcast Community Access channel. And here's Randy Wells, a .310 hitter the junior shortstop. And you've worked with Randy, haven't you, Coach?
No, I haven't worked with Randy. Billy Burmeister is the guy I've worked with in left field.
I know you made a comment about Wells and maybe the fact that he's been here so long, or you thought he was already graduated. Maybe that was the
yeah, he started as a freshman here, and seems like he's been here forever. A big part of this offense.
Oh, quick throw. Oh, and he's out. Wow, what a play by Torsha as they surprise Miller. Now, how many times do you see that if it's not Mount Diablo and Concord?
And see the throw, nice and low, goes right down. Got him on the arm.
Yeah, that's a good call. He was out. That was a quick snap, though, by Torsha.
And rarely do you see two guys picked off in a game, let alone in the same inning.
Amazing. Another ball, and Torsha having some control problems here in the bottom of the first inning.
As I said, he could be a little rusty. Might take him a little while to dial in here.
Of course, Brian Fiore, who we saw last or 2 weeks ago. I have to remind myself this game will be shown in a week. We're taping it on April 14th, but you'll see it on the weekend of the 23rd and 24th, actually. So 2 weeks ago, we saw Antioch on the game of the week, and Fiore was the pitcher. And there's another walk. So Torsha laboring here, although with that pickoff, he's not in serious trouble yet, but he'll have to face Aaron Locks, and Locks is a .467 hitter, the right fielder, and also a senior. Locks has been accepted at Fresno State. He may play baseball there, Coach.
He's tied for the most hits on the team with 14.
Wells takes his lead. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball for a strike.
Now that's a big pitch, getting out 0-1 right here to the number 3 hitter.
Curveball stays high, 1-1. The number 4 batter is Trevor Barrow, a transfer from De La Salle, we were told by Coach Ralston, who was kind of buried in that deep organization over there at De La Salle, Coach.
Yep.
And he decided to transfer over here, and he's one of their top pitchers and number 4 batter. Popped up down the right field line. This is a tough play. Frias. That looked like not necessarily the Giants, because J.T. Snow usually that looks like the visiting team running after a foul ball at Pac Bell Park.
Yep.
Kind of in that no man's land down there, but on the right field side. And Coach, we were distraught, even though this game will be a couple weeks late. We were having a lot of fun the other day talking about the Giants winning their game in L.A., and then we get home and they lost. So we're not going to talk about them today.
Yeah, that was a tough one to take.
Oh, another good pickoff move. Even though, of course, Clayton Valley wears the disappointing Dodger blue with the white numerals and red numbers, which looks just like the Dodgers.
Real close right there. And Logan Hildebrandt's playing a little bit close to the right field line. That's a nice little.
That was a nice pitch.
Took a little bit off that breaking pitch. Not only did he have break, he took velocity off it. But there's a big gap in right center right here. And there is a slide ball. And took a little bit off it.
Here's Barrow hitting .344. Just a junior, and he's going to get a lot of interest next year.
He is leading the team with RBIs with 14.
Not only is a third baseman, but as a pitcher. Runner goes. And it was a hit and run, and Barrow fouls off the first offering from Torsha.
He had a tremendous jump and would have probably made it standing up that time.
There's the Antioch Brain Trust. Vern Martin, Mike Jennings, and Ed Bodine.
I was fortunate enough to coach Mike Jennings for a couple years at Antioch High.
Coach Martin wanted me to remind everyone that basically Mike Jennings is the head coach. And, of course, Vern and Ed are just hanging out, is what he wanted me to tell everyone today. They had to get a real coach in after last year. Just teasing. Of course, Vern and Ed are longtime Antioch residents. And there's another throw. Frias had to make a good play. Ed Bodine, of course, owns the 19th hole casino, which is a great friend of the program. And Vern Martin is a longtime resident. His father, of course, was the king of Little League in Antioch, Kelly Martin, for years and years and years. A number of the baseball fields in Antioch are named after him.
The Clayton Valley's running game, that'll force your pitcher to try to get the ball to the plate a little bit quicker. And that could affect your control. Torsia's been up here a little bit. There's
nice curveball.
His best pitch of the day right there. That buckled him.
2-2 to Barrow, and Scott Gorgon, the pitcher, is on deck here. No score, bottom of the first, 1 runner on 2 down.
And a great time to run. There he
and
goes.
He goes. And another curve, ground ball to Pantel.
Just eat it.
Stays in front of it, and it's going to be an error on the third baseman, and runners will be at first and second here with 2 down, and Scott Gorgon will be the batter.
And that was not a good swing. That pitch was on the outside, and he went around that and brought it down to third base. It was not hit very hard. It was on the outside corner. He needs to take that ball to right field. Now 2 runners on for the Eagles.
I don't know if that ball kicked off, but there's a nice lip on the infield grass here, Coach, as you can notice on that side. So I don't know if that's where that hop came, but irregardless, an error. And 2 runners on here, 2 outs. Scott Gorgon, the batter, batting .361 on the year. And there's a line drive into center field, but it's right at the center fielder long, and it retires the side. So Clayton Valley threatens, but don't score. And we head to the top of the second inning from Concord, no score.
If you dump your oil, tempers boil, it ends up in the bay. Oh, smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Don't want your oil to choke us, you're in focus, your neighbors just might say. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Well, it's not fun to pay a big fine for polluting our water supply. It's not fun to talk to police as the neighbors walk on by. So now you're reeling, how's the wallet feeling? A big fine you're gonna pay. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera.
Looking for quality equipment rental with a helpful, friendly staff? Hertz Equipment Rental at Pacheco has over 4,100 pieces of reliable equipment to choose from, ready for delivery. Or if you're looking to purchase equipment, check out our pre-owned equipment sales list for super bargains on well-maintained pre-owned equipment. With Hertz, you have the right tool to get the job done. That's Hertz Equipment Rental at their new location, 30 South Buchanan Circle in Pacheco. Call Hertz today, 925-680-0316.
Nice view from the scissor lift here at Clayton Valley High School. No score, top of the second inning. Mark Frias, Jason Namany, and Logan Hildebrand here against Scott Gorgon.
From that scissor lift view, you can see the Clayton Valley outfielders bunching the alleys a little bit more, which is what I like to see them playing.
And there's a good look at it, as the first pitch was a strike. Frias is a senior. That ball's hit well to center field, but Miller is there, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Good swing.
Jason Namany, the senior shortstop.
Nice fastball. Needs to get a little bit more lower body into that swing. Jason Namany's an interesting young man. There's not too many things this kid's not very good at. He can play tennis, badminton, pickleball. You know what pickleball is?
Pickleball. That's a good. Is that where you throw the pickle instead of the ball?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like
you get a pickle if you win. I don't know. What is it?
You use a wiffle ball and a wooden paddle, and it's like playing tennis indoors.
Oh, I've never heard of that before,
Yeah.
but I'm sure ESPN will cover it now.
Yeah, that's one of our units.
It's a class now?
It's one of our, yeah, it's a 4-week unit that we have. And
pickleball.
And Torsia and Namany are our champions in that unit right now. They're king of the hill.
0-2 to Namany. That pitch is outside. We had classes like running from the police 101, ditching class. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember pickleball, but that's a good bombardment. I remember, Coach. That was a fun game to play. Oh, nice.
Great pitch.
And Namany knew it. Strike 3.
Late breaking. That's what was the key there. That was tough to pick up out of his hand.
Don't forget Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, voted best pizza in the East Bay, Ignacio Valley Road at Oak Grove. Thanks to all the great friends of the program, including Brendan Theaters, Movie Magic in Concord and Pittsburgh. Since we're filming this game a week out, I don't know what's opening next week, Coach, but I do know that Amityville Horror opened last week, and all the papers are raving about it. It's supposed to just scare the bejesus out of you.
It's not too hard to do that to me.
I heard you were frightened like in the Poseidon Adventure. That was a real scary one.
The
for
original
you.
Exorcist, that was the one way back.
There's a
late call.
Fastball's a strike?
He called it late.
Called
yes,
strike.
he did. He did not say he swung either.
Here's a ground ball to second. Matt Gorgon there. Throw to Sprague in time. 1-2-3 inning for Scott Gorgon. Antioch with just the one hit, but they've only sent 6 batters to the plate. No score. We go to the bottom of the second.
For decades, Dolan's has been providing the finest quality name brands for new construction and home improvement. Superior names like Marvin, Anderson, Milgard, Posey, and more. But it's Dolan's low truckload pricing and tradition of superior customer service that makes this retailer preferred by builders, architects, and homeowners throughout the community. Visit your nearest Dolan's and discover how affordable the very best can be. And join Dolan's in supporting your local teams.
It doesn't matter what sport you play. It doesn't matter what position you play. It doesn't matter whether you're turning pro or just starting out. It doesn't even matter how old you are. If you want to maximize your potential, you need Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
Affordable, professional, and convenient auto care has arrived. Auto Care 2000. Auto Care 2000 works on American and foreign autos with friendly professional mechanics that know your auto inside and out. Auto Care 2000 will even take your used oil and filter. Caring for our environment, that's Auto Care 2000, open 7 days a week. Auto Care 2000 at 3405 Clayton Road in Concord. Auto Care for the next century and beyond.
There's the I don't know if you have to pay extra for those seats, Coach, but I heard there is waitress service up there on that roof, and they'll bring you your hot dog and your cold beverage up there here at Clayton Valley High School. They have everything here.
That'll work.
First pitch to Levine, who's the designated hitter, batting .381, is a curveball that broke high, 1-0. No score here, bottom of the second. That's a nice pitch. Torshid looks like he's starting to find the strike zone a little bit more frequency here, Coach.
Clayton Valley was picked to win the league here in the preseason poll, and Antioch was picked for 5th. Right now, the Eagles are 8th in the East Bay poll.
There's a strike. Well, you mentioned before, Antioch's 1-2. They beat Ignacio. Lost tough games to, they lost to Liberty in the opening week, and they lost to De La Salle on Tuesday. There's a ball. Clayton Valley's 2-1. Overall, though, Clayton Valley's 9-3 and Antioch's 3-9. Antioch had, of course, had to weather the preseason storm without Mr. Torsha, which was a big loss to them.
Right, and Liberty is kind of the surprise right now. They're 3-0. Haven't really played into the top-tier teams yet, but they're doing real well.
That was a great pitch right there by Torsha. He jammed Levine and got a one-hopper back to the pitcher for out number 1. Yeah, Liberty's won. Haven't they won all 3 games?
Yes, yeah, that's
3-0. In the last at bat or towards the end, they've rallied to win every game.
That's a good call.
Hertz Equipment Rental, visit their newest location in Pacheco. Thanks to them for providing the scissor lift today, which is a great view here from a beautiful baseball facility for high school baseball. Here's Matt Gorgon. Of course, he was the quarterback.
That ball's hit well.
And he's going to Cal, and he hit a bomb to left. Sanchez is back, and it's off of the fence. That ball nearly got out of here, and Gorgon is going to have a double. Tough play, not only just the fact that it was hit hard, but into the sun. And you can see Jason was kind of fighting that one as he went back to the fence. Kind of in that no man's land where you don't know whether it's going to go out or stay in.
Good lower half. Drove that ball deep. And, you know, the wind is blowing out to left field. That helped it a little bit, but not much. That ball was tattooed.
Yeah, he hit that one a long way. So as we were saying, though, Gorgon is going to Cal next year to play baseball. He's would be considered their #1 starter, but they have 2 really great starters. And Barrow and Gorgon, and you have to, after seeing Scott Gorgon throw, you got to wonder if there's enough starts to go around for this staff, Coach. This is Sprague, the first baseman, a senior, batting .345. First pitch was a strike. That ball's
great block. That ball was 3 feet outside, and Kamages blocked it beautifully. The perfect block is a ball that rolls back over home plate. Boom. Beautiful. Beautifully done right there.
At least you could see him shift his body out there to get a center to the ball, so it would do that. And what you're right, that was a nice play by Kamages. As we mentioned, one of the better catchers that we've seen in the league. There's another strike to Sprague. Burmeister, who had a big home run against Deer Valley Tuesday, is on deck, and he is one of Coach's students, and he is just a sophomore. So that curveball broke over Sprague's head. Clayton Valley's had a nice history here in recent times. Jeff Landry with the shortstop last year is at the University of Arizona. Sam Ray, who was not only an outstanding player but an outstanding person and student, was the first baseman. He's at UCLA now.
He was fun to watch.
He was a nice kid. Here's going to be a tough play for Pantel. High chopper. The throw is not in time. Runner goes, throw, the third gets by Namini, who's coming, and here comes Gorgon, and he'll score. So, Coach, you have to almost wonder in that situation, would it have been wise maybe to eat that ball not knowing and maybe or maybe throw behind the runner at second?
I would have faked the throw to first and looked to backdoor the runner at second. He's fighting the sun there also. I would have faked right there and then looked at second.
Yeah, you would have had him too.
Yes,
he was about 15 feet off the base. So Clayton Valley scores here on the air. The air will be on Frias for the throw. Sprague reaches first on an infield hit, and the run comes in to score on the E3.
And here's Billy Burmeister. Got a chance to coach him with the East Bay Pirates for a year. This kid can run.
Shows bunt, pops it up. That would have been an out in a lot of ballparks, but Clayton Valley has that weird screen that hangs back over home plate, Coach.
That's a great comment, okay? It does hang over home plate, so it keeps a lot of balls from a catcher catching right there.
It also keeps a lot of insurance claims from the homes that are about 50 feet behind us.
Billy will put pressure on you if he just hits a ground ball. That's all we asked him to do, and that's all the Eagles are asking him to do. He puts a lot of pressure on you because he can run.
Ooh. And that curveball found the inside corner for strike 3.
That was a front door curveball, buckled his knees. Aiming right towards his front hip and went right over the plate.
Charter Funding Incorporated in the Antioch Rivertown District called 776-1700. Another pickoff attempt. Torsh's got a quick pickoff attempt, Coach.
Yes, he does. But he's made a lot of throws over there today. You don't want to live and die by it. Here's a good chance if this guy can run at first to start the leadoff hitter off next inning. We'll see how they play it.
Well, it's Sprague, and he's a pretty big kid, so all I know is I look at guys that were kind of built like me and know I never went anywhere, so he's probably not going anywhere either. Corey Miller walked in the first inning.
Again, that right center gap is wide open.
Was hit hard and down the third baseline. While we have the opportunity, Bob Ralston's the head coach at Clayton Valley. I just found out today, I didn't know this, Coach, a good fact. Not only did he play baseball at Moreau High School, Chabot College, and the University of Arizona, but he was in the Minnesota Twins organization and played at Toledo and Portland in AAA. So he was very close to the majors.
I'd like to know when you played at Moreau, because I was coaching at Salesian back in the 70s, and he might have been a player on that team, the Moreau Mariners.
And there's Coach Ralston, A.J. Hansen, Casey Coakley, and of course Jerry Coakley, the great defensive coordinator for the football team, is also an assistant baseball coach. Oh, that had some velocity on it right there, Coach. That
good
was
pop and a good swing.
That was upper 80s.
No,
1-2.
No signal from Coach Ralston.
Corey Miller is interested in St. Mary's College, as they are with him. That's a curveball that gets by Kamages. He's going to have to make a strong throw to first, but the runner Miller beats it. And so now Clayton Valley, after the how do you score that one, Coach, other than a pass ball?
It's a strikeout and an E2.
Okay. So runners at first and second.
That's how you get 4 strikeouts in an inning.
That's right. Well, he could have 3
Yeah, you go.
He's got 2, but one doesn't count right now. Not the way you want it to, anyway. Here's Randy Wells. He walked as well. So Clayton Valley has had runners at first and second now in both innings. And Antioch got out of it in the first. Clayton has 1 run in here in the bottom of the second with 2 on and 2 out.
I don't know what that was. That had a little
Like
little dipsy-do, little knuckle.
look at Gaylord Perry.
Yeah.
Had kind of a knuckle slurve.
Yeah.
Oh, that had some velocity on it. That's got to be reaching into the mid-80s, which only frightens you thinking, what does 100 miles an hour look like?
Yep.
What does Troy Percival and Billy Wagner look like? Oh, nice curveball by Torsha. Gets Wells, and Clayton Valley strands 2. They score a run, 2 hits, and we go to the third. Clayton Valley 1, Antioch nothing.
Tonight's Comcast Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from the 19th Hole Casino at West Tregallis Road. Established in 1967, the 19th Hole has been completely renovated. Open 7 days a week, they feature Texas Hold'em, No Bust 21 Blackjack, Low Ball, High-Low Split, Pai-Gow, and provide Keno and lottery sales. Every Tuesday and Wednesday beginning at 5:30 p.m. is a no-limit Texas Hold'em shootout with winner take all. Friday and Saturday night is karaoke at 9 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. is NFL football on all 14 TVs. The 19th Hole behind the post office in Antioch. Golf and Games Family Fun Center of Antioch. Under new ownership, Golf and Games has it all. A miniature golf course with many challenging holes, hard and softball batting cages with several speeds, a giant arcade with all the newest games, go-karts, pool tables, snack bar, and prize station for those big-ticket winners. The perfect place for birthday parties and events. That's Golf and Games Family Fun Center at 501 Summersville Road in Antioch. Thanks again to all of our friends from the Comcast Game of the Week.
And there's the American flag. We're all Americans. That's right, Coach.
Yep.
We love America, and the
Proud of it.
Send our best wishes out to all the troops that are still fighting in Iraq. First pitch to Dylan Long, the center fielder, is fouled back. Dylan's a senior, batting in the 7th position today for Coach Vern Martin. Jason Sanchez and Mac McKinnon will follow here for Antioch.
And Dylan had a big day against Ignacio Valley in that big win they had over there. A couple key hits.
There's ground
another
ball,
one.
Base hit. So Dylan leads off the third with a base hit. Second hit of the ball game for the Panthers. And here's Jason Sanchez. Of course, Jason is the son of our football commentator and longtime Comcast employee Steve Sanchez, who's back on the UPS truck this week.
Another fastball. Turned on and hit it right in the 6 hole. You look either here for a hit and a run or a bunt. Down in the order.
That throw almost got away from Sprague. You can see Barrow is playing well in at third base. And that ball does get away from Sprague. Oh, and I think Long got hurt. He might have got stepped on there. We saw this. I saw this the other day in a major league game. The same exact thing happened where the runner going back, I think it was Omar Vizquel the other day, Coach.
Yeah, if that throw is close, he's out.
Can I watch this right here?
He got kneed in the head.
Yep.
Kneed right in the face.
So Long is talking to Coach Martin, and Coach Jennings is over there as well, and the umpire. I think he'll be all right, but he just needs a second. But that actually cost Antioch because he could have advanced to second base. Basically would have got the runner to second without having to give up the out here, if that's what Antioch's thinking. There's the dog cam today, and a nice crowd. You know, that's one thing I have to admit, Coach. I don't know whether people want to get out after the horrible winter we had, which seemed to rain every day, or
Yep.
the fact that there's no hockey or whatever the heck is going on. But there's been a lot more people out watching high school baseball this year than in the past. This is a nice crowd here today. Sanchez shows bunt, pulls back, fastball's outside.
To get a shot at Dylan Long at first, his feet are really spread wide, which really hampers him from going either way quickly. See, those feet should be a little bit closer together.
Throw back, not in time.
Read that one good. Now this bunt should be down first base if he is going to bunt.
There's a strike.
It could have gone either way.
Well, I think Larry has a big strike zone, but it's been big for everyone.
Right.
Which
Oh,
is,
yeah.
which is, I think that's. I always, when I umpired, Coach, the black was part of the plate for me. So.
You don't get paid by the hour.
No, you don't. That was a nice bunt right there, but just foul. That's exactly the kind of bunt you wanted, but it just rolled foul. They don't have that wide third baseline. Look at what, when it goes down, look at the third baseline here is only about 6 inches to the foul line. It doesn't have that foot like the first baseline does, which is kind of strange, the way the field's laid out.
The closer the grass is, we always wanted the grass as close to the line as we can get it so we could utilize as much bunting area as we could to keep the ball off the dirt and rolling foul.
2-2 to Sanchez. No outs here in the third. And there's a swinging strike 3.
Good breaking ball.
Here's Mac McKinnon, the senior second baseman, the number 9 batter for Antioch. Fitness 19, where you can afford to be fit. $19 a month at Nasho Valley Road in Walnut Creek.
Panthers would love to get Long on second base, but Kamad just coming to the plate. Oh, 1 breaking ball. Oh, breaking ball, excuse me. That made it 0-1.
That was good, Coach.
My brain.
I was just letting you go with it.
Yeah, you're gonna let me go and hang myself.
One out here in the top of the third inning. 1 runner on, which is Dylan Long, who led off with a single. Runner
There goes
goes.
a runner.
Swing, strike. The throw down is not in time. I think you got to give Long all the credit there. I think he won the battle with the pitcher on the jump there, and the throw down from Stoiber was there, but not in time.
That was a hit and run. Ball's on the outside. Perfect spot for a catcher to throw a runner out, but Dylan beat it.
0-2 to McKinnon. Antioch with a runner in scoring position for the first time today.
Panthers have 2 chances to get this runner in now.
Oh, and that was a vicious fastball by Gorgon. Just threw it right by McKinnon for
Up and out of the
strike
strike zone.
3. Hard to believe Scott Gorgon would be listed number 3 on your depth chart, Coach.
Look at this pitch. That's up and out of the strike zone.
I'll put it to you this way. If you could make trades in high school baseball, Gorgon would have been traded for to be a number 1 starter somewhere else in this area.
Yep.
That's how good he is. Here's Kamajas. Grounded out to second to start the ball game, and that's a slider on the outside corner for a strike. It's going to be a tough play for Gorgon. Kamajas can run well, but he gets over, makes the throw in time to retire the side. So Antioch gets a leadoff single from Long, but strand him at second base, and we go to the bottom of the third inning from Concord. Clayton Valley 1, Antioch nothing.
Take advantage today with rates at record lows. Charter Funding Incorporated of Antioch is your local mortgage broker whose commitment is service with integrity. Charter Funding Incorporated works with many lenders to find the best program to fit your needs. First-time home buyers, 100% financing, no down payment, and interest only. No one is left out. Whether it's rate reduction, cash out, new purchase, good or bad credit, let the professionals at Charter Funding Incorporated handle all your loan details. Call us today at 776-1700.
What is a coach? A teacher, a motivator, a leader, the person who sees your athletic potential and maximizes it, regardless of the sport. At Velocity Sports Performance, you train with a highly qualified coach every time you train. Your coach makes you work hard, but your coach makes you a better athlete. Train with a coach who knows. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
Looking for quality equipment rental with a helpful, friendly staff? Hertz Equipment Rental at Pacheco has over 4,100 pieces of reliable equipment to choose from, ready for delivery. Or if you're looking to purchase equipment, check out our pre-owned equipment sales list for super bargains on well-maintained pre-owned equipment. With Hertz, you have the right tool to get the job done. That's Hertz Equipment Rental at their new location, 30 South Buchanan Circle in Pacheco. Call Hertz today, 925-680-0316.
Bottom of the third inning from Clayton Valley High School, Aaron Locks, Trevor Barrow, and Scott Gorgon, as we had a nice view of the surrounding foothills and Mountain Diablo here. And the first pitch swing is a ground ball to Namany. It's going to take a strong throw. And a nice play by Namany at short to retire the leadoff batter Locks here in the bottom of the third.
Nice job. Rounded the ball real nice. Watch him take a couple steps here. That's okay if it's a three-hitter, but if it's a leadoff hitter, he's got to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. But again, he played a nice, strong catch there. Threw a strike to first base.
Excuse me, Locks is 0 for 2 now, and here is Barrow, who reached base on an error in the first inning. As we mentioned, Coach, Barrow came in to pitch the other day as that ball's fouled against Deer Valley in relief of Matt Gorgon, who has a little bit of a tendonitis problem. And Coach Ralston got him out of there quickly. We take another look at this. Pantel made a nice diving attempt here, but that ball's foul. And so Barrow came in, pitched 5 innings, only gave up 1 hit, and got the victory over the Wolverines, which is that's a big game for Clayton Valley.
Yep.
Clayton and Deer Valley are probably going to battle right behind De La Salle there in the league.
Kamaj just putting on a blocking clinic. Remember, the most important batter to retire each inning is that first guy. First guy takes the bunt away from the opposition. And usually you don't have it, does not lead to a big inning if you get that first guy out.
I don't think Bubba Paris could have blocked that one, Coach. But 2-1 here to Barrow.
An area that Torchia has not attempted to attack today is a fastball in.
That one time he did. He threw it to the guy, to Levine, who.
That's right. Good point.
He jammed him, but that was the one time he did. There's a strike. By the way, I want to mention Scott Butler, who's the manager of the, does all the team managing for the Eagles football and baseball teams. Also Heather Rodriguez and Stephanie Billett, who are the stat people. You always need those people helping you out, Coach.
The good support cast is really, really important to have a quality program.
Barrow walks, and Scott Gorgon will be the hitter. Coach Pardee, a good friend of ours from Clayton Valley, who we've covered a number of times over the last couple of years, always reminded me that Scott Butler did a fine job for him and wanted me to mention him. And also want to say hi to Coach Pardee, and I'm sure we'll see him out here during the football season next year. Tell us what you think. Call 933-6264. Ask for Metal Matt.
Scott's the leader on the team with 4 doubles. He'd like to get 5 right here. That was an interesting pitch.
Good curveball. Starting to get that over.
That was a little different. I don't know. He took a little bit off that.
Oh, another. He's got that quick snap throw to first. You'll see a lot of guys that are able even to do this at the professional level, Coach. Oh. This is an interesting situation right here. Coach Ralston had walked down the line to talk to his batter, which is Gorgon, after the first pickoff to tell him perhaps to step out of the box, give him a little bit more time. And it looked like they had picked off Barrow.
No, he did not.
I think they're going to come over and ask for the replay, Coach?
There's no replay needed. The runner's out at first.
The runner is out. He picked off. And Coach made the good call. Here's a replay of it. You can see, and Now watch. Well, Ralston's down talking to his batter, which is Gorgon. And the runner, Barrow, is frozen thinking that there's timeout, but there was never timeout called.
And
so
two outs?
2 down on another pickoff play. So
3 in 1 game.
So we've had 3 in the game, and we've had two by Torsha, who picked off, I mentioned Miller and Barrow now. That could have turned into a crazy play. Big hop for Namini. Throw in time.
Strike to first.
And so Torsha has worked out of a number of jams and only given up 1 run here through 3 innings. We go to the 4th, Clayton Valley leading 1-0.
Hi, I'm Rocco Bialy, and I'd like to welcome you to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria here in Walnut Creek. Rocco's is a great place for family dining. In addition to serving the best pizza in the East Bay, Rocco's also serves many classic Italian pasta specialties. Make Rocco's your home for your next team party.
Great pizza, great pasta.
Great people. Rocco's is part of your community.
Affordable, professional, and convenient auto care has arrived. Auto Care 2000. Auto Care 2000 works on American and foreign autos with friendly professional mechanics that know your auto inside and out. Auto Care 2000 will even take your used oil and filter. Caring for our environment, that's Auto Care 2000, open 7 days a week. Auto Care 2000 at 3405 Clayton Road in Concord. Auto Care for the next century and beyond.
Get ready, Northern California. Mazet Pontiac Cadillac Buick GMC has a huge selection of new and certified pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Mazet invites you to experience our superior service and selection. Our new state-of-the-art facility and team of experts will make your car buying experience the best in the Bay Area.
Hi, I'm Matt Mazet. Whether it's a Cadillac Escalade or a GMC truck, I'll guarantee you the right car at the right price. Come by and see us today.
Discover the difference at Mazet Pontiac Cadillac Buick GMC in the Century Auto Plaza, Pittsburgh.
Back at Clayton Valley High School, top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Eagles. Pantel, Torsha, and Frias here, the 2, 3, 4 spots for Antioch. Brandon Torsha's helped himself out on the mound. Kind of got his control back, its rhythm back, and also with those 2 pickoff plays, Coach.
Yes, he has. The key to a good pickoff move is quick feet and a short arm throw. It's not, you don't want to wind up and throw to first with a lot of velocity. You want to get it up to your ear and snap it over there as quick as you can. And both these guys do a great job of that.
2 curves and 2 swinging strikes here for Pantel, who grounded out to second base in the 1st inning.
0-2, you're in the driver's seat.
That's fouled off down the right field side. His father, of course, Keith, his mom, Lori, Antioch graduates, and his father runs Pantel's Music Box, great friend of the program.
Yep.
A lot of contacts and ties we have here with this team and parents.
Got my truck alarm down there. This guy's treated me right. They'll do the same for you.
That ball's hit well to right field. Right fielder Locks is back, and he's there to make the catch. Pantel took that outside fastball, hit a long way, Coach.
Yes, he did, and he played, and that right fielder played it very well. Open up to the sideline, did a great job.
Togo's at Ignacio Valley Road at Oak Grove Road in Walnut Creek. Of course, the father of both Matt and Scott Gorgon owns that establishment, and one of our great friends providing us with our crew meal for the last couple of days. Great sandwiches. Want to thank them for jumping on board and helping us out. Here's Torsha, who reached on an infield single. Antioch has 2 hits in the ballgame. That ball's popped up down the right field side, but out of play, as you could see the first baseman Sprague over, taking a look. But it's I don't know if that's back into the seats, the club seating, or someone's backyard, Coach.
And the houses are up close here. One thing I really like that Clayton Valley does, they get out of that dugout in a hurry and get out on defense. I know we prided ourselves on with my teams. We did that. Umpires really like that because they want to get the game moving.
Torsha hits that ball a long way to right field, but once again, Locks is there and makes the catch. So Antioch is You'd think that would happen the first time through the lineup, not being able to get around on a fastball, but it's kind of hampered them here in the fourth inning. Images of 3 Hair Salon, Auto Care 2000, the 19th Hole Casino and Lounge, of course, Eddie Bodine's establishment, Randy's Carpet Care, Bridgehead Self-Storage, Antioch Opticians, and Rock Bottom Records. And Coach, over at Rock Bottom, I was doing some research. I know you're a big fan of System of a Down. They have a new record coming out in a couple of weeks. I'm sure you'll be down to pick that one up. No, Coach? Okay.
You got me on that one.
All right. Then we'll have to get you the new Andy Williams record when it comes out. Purchase your copy of this game. Shipping courtesy of UPS included. Call 933-6264. You can get that on disc, VCR tape, VHS tape, excuse me, for your VCR. What kind of music do you like? Aren't you a country and western fan?
Yeah, country western oldies. My weight training classes don't like me because that's the music we listen to in there. But they've gotten used to it.
Nice curveball. It's a strike to Frias.
Ball's a little bit up. It dropped down after it crossed the plate. One thing I like that Vern Martin did there, things are going a little too smooth out here for the Eagles, and he just wanted to break things up a little bit, make the Eagles wait a little bit before they sent Frias back up to the plate. It just had no effect to Paul yet.
Good fastball for a strike. 0-2. Yeah, it hasn't bothered Gorgon at all, has it?
Nope. He's got a lot of composure out there.
Long line of great pitchers here. You remember Adam Elliott, who's in the Mets organization, pitched here a couple of years back. Jim Gilbert, just a scholarship offer to Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm. Cowboys.
Yes. So with Landry and Ray and Elliott and Gilbert and a lot of great guys that we had here. Matt Mazzei, son, was a third baseman here. Oh, and there's a nice pitch to end the inning. So another 1-2-3 inning, and that one, as you mentioned, Coach, went by very quickly as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0, Clayton Valley.
For decades, Dolan's has been providing the finest quality name brands for new construction and home improvement. Superior names like Marvin, Anderson, Milgard, Posey, and more. But it's Dolan's low truckload pricing and tradition of superior customer service that makes this retailer preferred by builders, architects, and homeowners throughout the community. Visit your nearest Dolan's and discover how affordable the very best can be. And join Dolan's in supporting your local teams.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
For more advice on how kids can build strong bones, visit AAOS.org, a public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Looking for quality equipment rental with a helpful, friendly staff? Hertz Equipment Rental of Pacheco has over 4,100 pieces of reliable equipment to choose from, ready for delivery. Or if you're looking to purchase equipment, check out our pre-owned equipment sales list for super bargains on well-maintained pre-owned equipment. With Hertz, you have the right tool to get the job done. That's Hertz Equipment Rental at their new location, 30 South Buchanan Circle in Pacheco. Call Hertz today, 925-680-0316.
Bottom of the fourth inning from Clayton Valley High School. The Eagles won and Antioch nothing. Antioch only has 2 base runners in the ball game, as Gorgon is throwing a real nice game. But Torsha has been able to keep Clayton Valley off of the. You take away the air, and we'd have a 0-0 ball game right now, Coach.
Yeah, and it's Coach Ralston stated before the game, his pitching's kept him in a lot of baseball games, and then that's holding true again today.
I think last week when we saw Antioch a couple weeks ago, it was 0-0 as well. But then Antioch exploded in the fourth and through the 7th innings to win that game 10-0. So we'll have to see how the last couple innings play out. We're halfway through this one. Antioch down 1-0. Vinny Levine is the batter. That's a foul ball.
And that Warrior team got their first win the other day in extra innings over at Freedom.
10-9. Very, very exciting for them. Now we got to get Mount Diablo a win.
Let's go be hitter, Vince.
By the way, next week, folks, we haven't made up a final decision on the game. We could be anywhere in the area, over at Alhambra or Ignacio Valley. God only knows, Coach. Yep. We could be at one of these great high schools. So just check your local listings next week. We'll have the game for you on the last weekend of the month. Full count here to Levine. Gorgon, that's Matt Gorgon, and Ryan Sprague are the on-deck hitters here for Clayton Valley in the 4th. Fly ball center field. It's actually between McKinnon and Long, and then McKinnon out, tries to make the catch on that one and drops it. So we're going to defer to Coach Whitman, who's also the official scorer here on Comcast Game of the Week.
That's a tough play. That was a tough play.
So we're going to give him a hit?
I think I would.
Okay.
I mean that way. He's not playing it under it. See the key? He's not playing it under it. So that makes it a little tougher.
That is a tough play. So the first runner, or hitter, excuse me, Levine is on as the runner at first now. And they better watch Torsha with that devastating move that he has, as shown us. Matt Gorgon, the hitter, he had that big double back in the 2nd inning that nearly went out of here. And there's another snap throw to first. Frias has had to be pretty active over there.
Wait. You pointed, right? Okay. Like a chess match.
I don't know what that was, Coach. I thought someone thought that he was out as well. And Frias got cleated, it looks like, in the face on that. I'd say this one's getting kind of weird without having a lot of oh yeah, look at that, Coach.
Ouch.
Good replay there, but Frias got one right in the face as he dove for that. And as I mentioned, we've seen that a lot this year. Guys getting tangled up at first base and crazy stuff. And so Frias is going to have to come out of the ball game, and we'll have a new first baseman. Frias must have got that right in or near the eye. Is it near the lip?
Lip and tooth.
Well, of course, Frias could re-enter the game once they do a little work on him. We'll have to see who comes out of the Antioch dugout. Torch is going to take a couple of warm-up throws. Here's our schedules. We mentioned we're taping this game on the 14th. It's going to be shown next weekend on the 23rd and 24th, and you'll be obviously watching that on one of those 2 days, this game here. Then next weekend we'll have a to-be-announced game. Did I say that right, Coach?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I thought I might have. Then on May 5th, it's back here for Deer Valley at Clayton Valley, and then a very interesting game, and it's shaping up to be, they're playing today. Ran into Amanda Williams' dad the other day out hitting some balls, and he hasn't, you know, they have another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's in 8th grade. She's going to be on Freedom next year. So I don't think that they're too worried about once Amanda, and Amanda's going to the University of Arizona now. It's been announced. She's signed. And that'll be Freedom at Carondelet. And then we'll have the to-be-decided game on the final week of the season. Could be anywhere. We want to try to bring you a big game and maybe a playoff game that last week in May. So I'm not sure, Coach, but I think it didn't take this long for my wife to decide yes or no on the marriage proposal to get a first baseman. Maybe they're working on Frias and they're going to try to put him back. No, they are. They're going to put him back in. So it was probably Eddie Bodine, who's probably seen a few situations like this at the 19th hole and had to fix a few guys up.
Yep.
He probably worked his magic.
Oh, yeah.
So Frias
brought out his needle and thread.
Just sewed him right up.
Okay, what do we got here? No outs, runner at first?
No outs, runner at first, bottom of the 4th. Gorgon the hitter. And a 1-0 ball game. And Gorgon shows a bunt. The ball gets away from Kamages, which allows the runner to move up to second base, which is actually there's a pinch runner in. Bob Lee, pinch running for Levine. I'm sure Levine will hit again. Something you got to be, you know, that's one thing we don't have, Coach. We don't have like people making those announcements for us and telling us that, or the press box announcer. You got to kind of pick it off on your own. I looked down and remembered that Levine was number 10 and number 14 was running. So
I'm looking for a bunt down third here. Let's see what happens. And they might let him swing away. He's second on the team in RBIs, so Bobby might just let him go.
Well, after that last one, shows bunt again and pulls back. There's Bob Lee. Yeah, remember Bob Lee?
Oh, yeah.
He wrote a book that sold a few copies.
Yep.
Curveball outside. So I don't know if Clayton Valley is just playing around right here, trying to see what they can make out of this. You'd think, though, with no outs, that Gorgon would be swinging away, especially as well as he hit the ball last time he was up. Shows bunt again, and that time attempts the bunt.
He is now.
Yep, 2 strikes. Sprague is on deck for Clayton Valley.
How many times have you seen that? A guy tried to bunt, fouls it off, then gets strike 2, then next thing he hits crushes one. You know, the coach asked him to bunt. It happened to me a lot of times with my teams.
I know that I never was asked to bunt, so I wouldn't know about that, Coach. Velocity Sports Performance in Concord for all your future athletes. That curveball stayed high. Full count. And Gorgon will probably get a pretty good pitch to hit here.
This is a big pitch right here, because if he gets on, they're definitely going to probably look to move these guys over with the short game.
And there's another high fly ball to left field. This looks like a replay. Sanchez back, out of here.
What'd we say?
What did you say, Coach? My goodness, you called it. Gorgon attempts a bunt, doesn't do it, and then hits a 2-run homer and almost a replay of the double he hit back in the 2nd inning, and Clayton Valley leads 3-0. And he hit that ball halfway to a Brentwood, Coach. Yep. On
great lower half. That ball's a little bit higher than the previous one. The wind's blowing out there, but that was not wind aided. It was hit very, very well.
No, that was bat aided.
Yep.
And I think Coach Martin thinks that he missed home plate.
No. He got home plate. He got home plate.
Yeah, that was a high fastball, and it stayed high all the way into. I think that's a lacrosse practice going on behind us there.
Yep.
3-0 Clayton, and that ball's hit.
Well, a little too high.
I can't see Jason Sanchez over there. We're going to have to use the camera, and he's not able to make a catch on that one. That cut down the line there, and we lost sight of it. So thanks to our scissor lift there. So Sprague, who had a single back in the 2nd inning, up with an 0-1 count. Kind of funny that you'd even ask Gorgon to bunt at all, the way he's hit those 2 balls.
Well, Bobby knows 1 run's not enough. The fluke comes into play. You get ahead 2-0. The other team's got to score 3.
Fly ball, center field, long, makes the catch. 1 out. And Burmeister, who looked at a called 3rd strike, will be the hitter. Dolan's Lumber Doors and Windows in 2 locations, 1 in Walnut Creek and 1 in Concord, for all your home improvement needs. Thanks to all the great friends of the program here on the Comcast Game of the Week. That's a... They checked, and Burmeister held his swing there on the inside fastball. 1-0. That ball hit very hard. Nice catch by Namany at shortstop for out number 2.
Hit that right off the end of the bat. Just a little bit out in front of it. Good lower half swing. Billy didn't always use his swing that well, so Coach Ralston's done a nice job with him over here. Good lower half.
Corey Miller, 0 for 1.
Look out.
But he's reached both times. Amazingly, the first time on a walk, then picked off. He's had an interesting day. The 2nd time up, he struck out and reached on the air. So Miller 0 for 1, but he's been on base both times. First pitch was a ball high. And that ball outside, 2-0.
He really appears like he's comfortable, hit deep in the count. Got a lot of confidence in his abilities, which is what a leadoff hitter needs to do.
Line drive right at So Frias, after the delay, gets in and sees a line drive, makes the catch for out number 3, but not before Clayton gets 2 big runs on the Gorgon homer. And we head to the 5th, 3-0, Clayton Valley.
Hi, I'm Rob from Central Tune-Up. Check this out. Oil filter crusher. Did you know that every drained used oil filter that comes off your car still contains up to a cup of used oil? That used oil can destroy our environment and water supply. Do the right thing and place your used oil filter in a clear Ziploc bag and place it on the curb with the rest of the recyclable items. If your city does not have curbside used oil recycling, take it to your nearest certified used oil and filter recycling center. Call ahead for hours and the amount accepted. What more, if all the oil filters that were sold yearly in the United States were recycled, you would have enough steel to build 16 pro sports stadiums. Be good to the earth. Recycle your used oil and filters for a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Higgins is here to show us how easy it is to share memories with Comcast Photo Show.
Well, it's really easy. I just add graphics and music, and I've got a photo show of my granddaughter's 10th birthday. We got a ballerina theme. That's the birthday girl. She's sweet. Unlike her brother, who's a little wise guy and into chemistry. But nothing could have ruined that party. It's a shame what they did to that clown.
Looked like he was asking for it, though.
Introducing Photo Show, included with Comcast high-speed internet in a class by itself.
Back at Clayton Valley High School, top of the 5th inning, Eagles 3 and Antioch nothing. There's the box score for you. Clayton with the 2-run homer by Gorgon there in the 4th inning. Jason Namany, the leadoff batter here in the 5th, takes a strike. He struck out in the 2nd. Made a nice play there on defense in the bottom of the 4th. Curveball low, 1-1. Coach, this game being played at a very nice clip of about an hour and 2 minutes right now. And we're already in the 5th inning, which bodes well for my softball game later tonight.
Both pitchers throwing well, picking runners off base. It's 3 breaking balls in a row.
That was a nice curve on the inside corner as well, 1-2.
When you have 2 strikes, you still got to think fastball and adjust to the breaking ball here. That's got to be in the back of your mind, but you got to think hard to soft. And there was hard.
And there's a nice drive out into the alley. Miller makes the catch. What a catch by center fielder Corey Miller there to take away extra bases from Jason Namany.
I tell you, this is one of the best outfield groups I've seen in a while. They all get good jumps on the ball. They all read the ball off the bat quickly. And they all do a great job putting themselves in a position to catch. Great job. Left it all out there. Boom. And then comes up and shows it. That's the key.
Logan Hildebrandt, who grounded out to second to end the 2nd inning. Antioch still with just 2 base runners here in the ballgame. There's a curve that breaks low. Well, Clayton Valley's had a lot of talent over the past 5 or 6 years here, Coach. They've went to the North Coast section final a couple times. I know we saw them against Deer Valley a couple years ago. And we've brought you their games. They're a very well-coached unit. And a lot of their guys always seem to be almost interchangeable parts. They always have like a big first baseman. They always have a really good middle infield. When they've had guys that played in those positions for years, they always have a pretty decent power hitter somewhere, and their outfield's always really good. And, of course, their pitching is outstanding.
I've always been a big believer your youth programs has a lot to do with it, too. Not only does the head coach and the JV and the freshman teams, but the youth program is very solid over here. They're also to be commended over here.
Fastball off the plate. Long will follow, and Long had a hit to lead off the 3rd. One of the 2 hits against Gorgon. Fouled off, and that's gonna be a well, it hit something, and then it ended up in someone's hot tub. So not everything is caught by that mesh. You see the nice black mesh that they've put up out here.
That's pretty new.
That ball's hit well to center, but right at Miller, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So Miller has 2 putouts here in the 5th inning, and Dylan Long will be the batter.
That's a pretty good swing. He's been pulling the ball quite a bit lately. I've been watching him the last couple games, and he really let that ball get deep on him a little bit and drove it right back up the middle. That's a great swing right there, and another great play. You know, not only is Clayton Valley pitching well, their defense is really sharp. And that bodes for a low ERA.
Yeah, no errors so far for the Eagles today.
So if you're pitching, you feel pretty good about your chances out there with those guys behind you.
First pitch was a strike. Ground ball, third baseman Barrow kind of booted that one. So it'll be an error on the third baseman Barrow. And Long reaches base for the 2nd time today. Jason Sanchez will be the hitter.
Again, the ball hits the dirt. Comes up on him a little bit. It's a play he's got to make. Not an easy one, by the way, but it's a play that he's got to make. It's tough to simulate that type of a hit in practice.
Absolutely. And once again, you know, when that ball gets near that lip there and takes that little extra hop. Curveball for a strike to Sanchez, who struck out in the 3rd inning. Long the runner at first, 2 down, 3-0 Clayton here in the 5th inning. And it's been the Gorgon brothers. Scott on the mound and Matt at bat. And Dad Gorgon bringing sandwiches for us. So it's a Gorgon family.
Here he goes.
Runner goes.
Tough to throw him out on a breaking ball.
And Stoiber throws that ball over the head of the shortstop, and another stolen base. So Long has stolen both times he's been on, and now in scoring position. It'll be up to Sanchez to try to bring him in.
Yeah, Matheny would have had a tough time throwing him out. Breaking ball, it's on the outside, which means he's really got to get his feet turned all the way around to make that throw. That's not going to happen. Panthers looking to get on the scoreboard here.
1-1 to Sanchez. Curveball stays off the plate. 2-1. Mac McKinnon on deck for the Panthers here in the 5th inning. Just 3 base runners in this ball game. And we had just mentioned, Coach, how good Clayton Valley's defense was, and it kind of let them down there with the error. Ball 3. 3-1.
That had a little giddy up on it. How's your suntan coming over there? You well done yet?
I'm well crispy. I went from just regular a recipe to crispy, just like at Colonel Sanders. That ball broke over the outside corner. Full count now here with 2 down.
That's your backdoor breaking ball. It starts in the other batter's box. It just barely clips that outside corner. That pitch is basically unhittable.
Sanchez calls time. That was an exceptionally long break between pitches there, and the stretch that Gorgon took. So here's the 3-2 pitch once again. And it's a ground ball kicked at first. And Sanchez, and that ball gets away. Here comes the runner, and he's going to score. So on that play, Coach, I would have to say there's 2 errors on that play.
Yes, there was. The error that got Sanchez the first, and then the other error scored the run.
That's right. Watch this again, Coach.
Yep.
Here's the error on the first baseman.
And he should have just ate it right there.
And then Gorgon comes in, and that throws an error because that allows the run to score. So Sanchez reaches on the E3. Long comes in to score on the E4.
Focus, Scotty.
And a throwback to try to get Sanchez is not in time. So 3 errors in the inning, just as you had said, Clayton Valley. And you've been right on a lot of things today, Coach. Although I don't know if you actually predicted that one.
No,
but,
we didn't predict it.
No, we predicted the bunt and then home run.
Yep.
Strike to McKinnon.
It's kind of like watching a basketball game. This guy's 93% from the line, and boy, he clangs it.
Yeah, he clangs too. That was a kind of a hit and run.
That was a
protection swing there. Oh, and then Gorgon. Wow, that was we've had a lot of nutty things happen out here today. Gorgon had to dive over Sprague to make the catch after McKinnon, who was protecting the runner Sanchez, who had left early, went down to second. Anyway, Antioch scores 1 in the 5th, and it's 3-1 Clayton Valley.
Tonight's Comcast Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems and stadium-style seating. The prize wheel spins weekly with great prizes. The Prize Patrol promotional events and other activities happen monthly with great giveaways and prizes. Check out the Brendan Theater website for more information and great savings ideas. Your favorite films in a great environment, all at the Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh. Enjoy the movie. Make big messes no longer a problem. Experience the difference in a real professional. Randy's Carpet Care. Improve your indoor living to a clean, healthy environment. IICRC certified master cleaning specialist in carpet, upholstery, odor control, and stain removal. Owner-operator, family-friendly. Call today to reserve your spot. That's Randy's Carpet Care. We exist to serve you. Call 925-518-1088. Thanks again to all of our friends from the Comcast Game of the Week.
Randy Wells, Aaron Locks, and Trevor Barrow here in the bottom of the 5th against Brandon Torsha. 3-1 Eagles. Antioch finally gets on the scoreboard there on that error in the top of the 5th. 3 errors on the Eagles. These totals in the game so far: Clayton Valley 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, 2 runners left on. Antioch 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 runners left on. That pitch is down. Wells is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. You know, Coach, both these teams had good years last year. Clayton finished 21-11, 11-3. Lost a couple of good players, Matt Reed and Tyler Almond, who we saw out at Deer Valley last year. Pitch is down as well. Antioch was 17-9, 10-4 in the league. Lost Joey Loma and Jason Soares, a number of players who we saw during games that we covered last year.
Wow.
That ball is drilled foul.
Again, the balls that have been up, but the balls have been hit hard.
And specifically fastballs.
Yep.
I know that Brandon's brother Justin has been a welcome addition to our softball unit out in Antioch, Coach. He was a fine player for the Panthers.
Yes, he was.
Oh, nice pitch. Fastball in the outside corner. And Wells is retired. Here's the bullpen. And that is Matt Gorgon, who would be considered the ace, probably due to work in relief here today, if needed, after working for 2 innings out against Deer Valley the other day. Aaron Locks 0 for 2. Curveball is a strike.
Torsha's got ahead of both these hitters. Look out.
You suppose anyone has ever mentioned to Aaron bagels and locks or anything like that, Coach? Think that one's come up a few times?
I think that's a lock. Ooh, just missed.
2-1. Barrow is on deck. And then Scott Gorgon, the pitcher.
Wind still blowing out to left field lightly.
Outside. Torsha overthrew that pitch a bit. 3-1. Ball 4. Fastball missed up and out, so Locks walks. That rhymed. Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria voted best pizza in the East Bay, Ignacio Valley Road at Oak Grove. Here's Barrow, who's been on base both times, reached on an error in the first, walked, and then was picked off on that controversial play back in the 3rd inning. Throw back to first is not in time. Coach, I want you to look at the way Barrow holds the bat.
Okay.
Watch his lower hand. It almost looks like he's gripping and rotating his hand back a little farther than. Oh, yeah, another pickoff. Another pickoff. As Locks is picked off. I don't think Bob Ralston can believe that call, Coach.
No, he's not a happy camper.
But Torsha has now picked off 3 Eagles. So you figure, Coach, right now there's been 14 outs in the game for Clayton Valley, and 3 have been picked off by Torsha. Okay, now on this next pitch.
That's a good. I saw it.
Is he wrapping his hand a little tight?
Yes, he is.
Is that some sort of strategy that has been discussed, or just something he's doing?
That's something he's doing. It's not normal. You want to hold the bat where the fingers attached to the hand. He's got that top hand. That bat is way in his palm, which is unusual, which restricts the wrist movement and the snap at contact point.
See what hanging out with you's done to me?
Well, you did a good job recognizing that.
Fastball high. I guess irregardless of whether the guy is out or safe, from your perspective, you've got to start wondering when Clayton Valley is going to identify, these situations. Pantel, long throw, and not in time. That short fence over there does not allow any sort of movement ahead to second base by Barrow, but once again, Barrow reaches on an error on third baseman Pantel.
Does a good job backhanding it. He's got his feet under him pretty well. He's got to throw a strike over there, and he one-hops him.
Where's Mr. Shreve? Remember him from Miramani the other day? He was digging out everything. So in E5, that's the 3rd error in the ball game on the Panthers, 2nd on Pantel. And a runner at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th, and Scott Gorgon. You see, he's got him really panicking now, Coach. He just looked over there, and Barrow went diving back into first base. That pitch is a ball, 1-0. Gorgon is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball well, lined out to center field and grounded out to short. Another snap throw, and now that time he looked well out, and he called him safe. So I don't know if that was a makeup call from the one before, Coach. You tell me.
That could have gone either way. Yep, could have gone either way.
Just that there has been this many close plays at all is a very rare thing. At what point, Coach, do you tell your guys really just don't take much of a lead? Can you give it up that way?
You can take a one-way lead, which is basically still get your same length, but put your weight on your foot closest to the base.
Another snap throw that this hits Barrow and stopped. And Frias is another guy that's had, he's been kicked in the face and dove after and thrown and diving, and now Barrow gets hit.
Yeah, Frias has also been the recipient of the pickoffs.
Yes, there has been. This has been kind of a nutty little game with the craziness and the pickoffs and the timeout. That pitch is a ball. That time, I can safely say Barrow was back in time. There's a strike on the outside corner. 3-1 to Gorgon. Levine on deck.
And if you're Bobby Ralston, now you're kind of a little hesitant to put something on. But we'll see. There he goes.
Runner goes. Swinging at that fastball and missing is Gorgon. 3-2, but the runner steals. Now, Coach, is that a steal or is that the old catcher's indifference?
No, that's a steal. That was a good job. He didn't take as big a primary. He just outran the ball. Did a nice job there.
I could never understand why it wouldn't be a steal even if the catcher didn't want to throw. You basically, if you move, you stole.
There has to be another, oh boy.
That time Torsha throws the ball away from McKinnon. It seems like that time Antioch went to the well one too many times on the pickoff move.
Yeah, and that's a 4th error. So they basically put this runner in a position. Now, he didn't get his feet underneath him. That's what hurt him there.
So Barrow is at third with 2 down, and Gorgon with a full count, trying to get Clayton Valley their 3-run lead back. And there's ball 4, so another walk. Clayton Valley only has 4 hits in this ball game, Coach. And Vern Martin calls time. And we may see a pitching change here. Martin out there to talk to his infield with Brandon Torsha. Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria voted best pizza in the East Bay, Ignacio Valley Road at Oak Grove. Brendan Theaters, Movie Magic in Concord and Pittsburgh. You can still see Fever Pitch, which is a good baseball-themed movie with Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon.
Get to go see it this weekend.
Hertz Equipment Rental. Visit their newest location in Pacheco. Thanks to them for the scissor lift here today. Charter Funding Incorporated in downtown Antioch in the Rivertown District. Call 776-1700. So
we got an interesting problem here. The umpire said that's his 2nd trip to the mound, and that's only his 1st trip to the mound. When there was a problem at first base, that's not necessarily a trip to the mound unless he talked to the pitcher about something regarding pitching.
Isn't it 2 trips per inning, or is it 2 in the game?
No,
because that happened last inning.
Correct, but you get so many trips in a game.
That's what I was asking. Okay, so it's not like in a
no.
major league, it's twice an inning, right?
Correct. Yeah.
In high school, it's twice a game.
Right. I was just making a point that he said it was 2 trips and it's only been 1 trip.
Right. So Levine, who's 1 for 2, had a single his last time up. That pitch is high for a ball. I would imagine that this probably could be Torsha's last batter that he'll face if he can't get out of this. Levine, of course, with that single, Lee ran for him and scored ahead of the homer by Matt Gorgon, who's on deck. I don't really, that's going to be a dicey situation for a relief pitcher to have to come into here if he does. Ooh, that pitch nearly hit Levine. How'd you like that? Here you go, son. Take the ball and go pitch to this guy who's hit 2 balls that combined about 700 feet.
Yeah.
There's a nice shot from the scissor lift through the backstop
that you had alluded to earlier.
There's a strike. 2-1. Gorgon at first. Barrow at third. 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Clayton Valley with a 3-1 lead, and there's a pickoff, and it gets by Frias, and that's another error, and the run scores. And I think at some point, you thought it was kind of working for Antioch, and now it's really kind of let him down.
Yeah, you can fall in love with it if it's working. The name of the game is played between the pitching river and home plate.
That was the 3rd error of the inning, and they all occurred with Barrow in some form or fashion, Coach.
And he scored a run.
That fastball's up, and the runner goes, and the throw from Kamajas is there, and it was in time, and they call him safe. Now that time I'd argue, because I thought he was out by plenty.
Well, the ball beat him.
Oh, maybe not.
Yep, he was
Maybe
safe.
not.
The ball beat him, but the tag was late.
I thought that he was there, but maybe not. That's one of the tough things about having just one umpire on the bases, to get around to all the bases, make that call. So after the wild pitch, Gorgon is now at third, and Levine swings and misses, and it'll be a full count here to Levine with 2 outs. Barrow's box for this inning, Coach. E5, stolen base, E1, E1, run scored.
Wow.
That's fouled off. There's been 5 runs scored in the game, only 2 RBIs in this game. They're both on Gorgon's homer because the first run of the game scored on an error. Antioch's run scored on an error, and that run scored on an error. That's out in the street somewhere. Look, yeah, that's out. There's the neighborhood basketball hoops right behind us. And that ball is down. Levine walks. And I seen Vern come out of the dugout, and it looked like Torsha told him that he wanted to pitch to Gorgon. This is an interesting situation, Coach.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Another test here for Torsha. He wants to accept it.
Gorgon's 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, a homer and a double. And he just got out of warming up in the bullpen as he may be used in relief here in the 6th or 7th inning. There's a strike. 4-1 Clayton Valley here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Clayton has scored a run in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 here in the 5th. Ooh, big swing. Runner goes. They fake the throw. And so Levine is able to move up 90 feet. So there's runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 down. And Gorgon could put this one out of reach, Coach, just with a single.
Yeah, that ball was on the outside half, and he tried to pull it, and that doesn't usually work. So I'd try to stay on the outside portion of the plate here if I'm the pitcher. And he did not. He did not put it.
But Sanchez is there to make the catch. So that's over 1,000 feet now, Coach, that Mr. Gorgon has hit the ball today. Clayton Valley scores once, and it's 4-1 as we go to the 6th inning.
Get ready, Northern California. Mazay Pontiac Cadillac Buick GMC has a huge selection of new and certified pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Mazay invites you to experience our superior service and selection. Our new state-of-the-art facility and team of experts will make your car buying experience the best in the Bay Area.
Hi, I'm Matt Mazay. Whether it's a Cadillac Escalade or a GMC truck, I'll guarantee you the right car at the right price. Come by and see us today.
Discover the difference at Mazay Pontiac Cadillac Buick GMC in the Century Auto Plaza, Pittsburgh.
Looking for quality equipment rental with a helpful, friendly staff? Hertz Equipment Rental at Pacheco has over 4,100 pieces of reliable equipment to choose from, ready for delivery. Or if you're looking to purchase equipment, check out our pre-owned equipment sales list for super bargains on well-maintained pre-owned equipment. With Hertz, you have the right tool to get the job done. That's Hertz Equipment Rental at their new location, 30 South Buchanan Circle in Pacheco. Call Hertz today, 925-680-0316.
1 hour and 7 minutes ago, my father brought forth a free documentary on the Civil War. No video store, no trip to the library. For this box is a library of thousands of shows. What is next? Cartoons. We shall now watch cartoons. My name is Tommy, and I have discovered On Demand.
On Demand from Comcast Digital Cable. Call now for this great offer.
Top of the 6th inning from Concord at Clayton Valley High School. 4-1 Clayton Valley over Antioch. Scott Gorgon working here in the top of the 6th inning to the top of the order for Antioch. This is Bubba Kamaja's first pitch swing, ground ball to second, and that ball is booted by Scott's brother Matt out at second base, and Kamaja's reaches.
That's a routine ground ball. You have to come get those. You can't let that ball sit back and let that ball play you. He's already started moving towards the bag, and the ball was off his right side of his body, and the glove gets narrower as the ball moves to your right.
So Kamaja's reaches. He's been on base. That's the first time for Bubba. His father Gabe is over here to my left in the stands. No outs. Pantel the hitter. Fouled back. Pantel is 0 for 2. Grounded out to second in the first, flew out to right in the fourth.
Deep right. Ball's on the outside half, lets the ball travel. Fouls it straight back.
Pantel's a junior, so he'll be back next year for Coach Martin. Coach Martin and Coach Ralston are have been on the field a little bit today, Coach.
Yep.
Throw to first, not in time. There's been a lot of that today. More so, I've seen a lot more throwing to first this year than I have in a long time, Coach. Another throw to first. You don't typically think of your catcher as a speed guy either, but Kamajas is not built like most catchers. There's a ground ball to third. Barrow backhands. Throw to second. In time. Throw to first. Not in time. So they get one. As Pantel is retired on the fielder's choice.
That's a nice backhand. Now he's got to get his feet underneath him, and he does perfectly, and throws a strike to second. Tough play to double anybody up. But they got the lead runner, and that was their main focus.
Here's Torsha, who's 1 for 2, and one of the guys in the Antioch lineup that could hit a 2-run homer. The way the wind's blowing, it kind of favors you, but he shows bunt, and it's a strike. I think if he would have got that down, it definitely would have been a hit if he got it down third, because Barrow is playing deep at third base.
He's going to give you the bunt. He thinks you're doing them a favor.
Well, I think that you would be too with this guy up. In the dirt, good block by Stoiber.
Let's go, Scotty, relax.
Panthers have hit 2 balls hard here already this inning. Good pitch.
Nice breaking ball for a strike. 1 and 2. The thing about Gorgon is you don't know. He does not give you that. There's nothing in his windup that would let you know, or does he change anything in that the delivery of the ball coach that would let you know that it would be a fastball curveball. He delivers it exactly the same.
The big key there is he releases the breaking ball in front of his face, and that's what gets you the late break and no hump on the ball. It's very difficult to detect early.
Antioch is going to have a runner, Leah Ancona, over at first base for Pantel.
11 for 25.
Do you think that's a speed move, Coach, or a let's mess up Gorgon for a couple minutes move, Coach?
Oh, I don't know.
Kind of interesting, though, that it came with 2 strikes on Torsha. Outside, 2 and 2. Frias is the on-deck hitter for Antioch. Gorgon steps off. I'm surprised he didn't throw the last time, Coach, just kind of welcoming the new runner into the ball game.
Yeah.
That is, curve is off the plate, full count. And so now is time to send the runner, hit and run here, Coach?
That's a tough call because, you know, you get all or nothing here with Torsha. You know, he really lets it fly, which means he could be a strikeout victim, or he could hit a home run. I'd play it straight up. I wouldn't send him.
And there's a ball. So Antioch now with 2 runners on. Very nice disciplined at bat there by Torsha. And Frias is the tying run at the plate. Antioch down 3 here in the top of the 6th inning on what is a beautiful spring day in Contra Costa County.
Now the wind's died down. The flags are limp in center field.
You can always tell there's no clouds sitting over there on the foothills. That's usually your sign that the wind is going to start blowing.
What type of clouds?
Well, the other day they were cumulus clouds. I don't know if they would be that today, but they were the other day. Curveball high. Frias is 0 for 2 with a fly out to center in the 2nd inning and a strikeout in the 4th. Antioch's hung tough here with Clayton Valley today, Coach.
Torsh's biting off a big lead over there at first base. Could see the catcher maybe throw behind here.
Frias, ground ball to the pitcher. To second for one, throw to first in time, and Gorgon gets out of it with a double play. Antioch fails to score in the sixth. We head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Clayton Valley 4, Antioch 1.
Tonight's Comcast Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from the 19th Hole Casino at West Tregallis Road. Established in 1967, the 19th Hole has been completely renovated. Open 7 days a week, they feature Texas Hold'em, No Bust 21 Blackjack, Low Ball, High-Low Split, Pai-Gow, and provide keno and lottery sales. Every Tuesday and Wednesday beginning at 5:30 p.m. is a no-limit Texas Hold'em shootout with winner take all. Friday and Saturday night is karaoke at 9 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. is NFL football on all 14 TVs. The 19th Hole behind the post office in Antioch.
Bridgehead Self-Storage of Antioch, located behind Kmart off Highway 4 and East 18th Street. Bridgehead Self-Storage has 5x6 to 10x40 24-hour security units for those extra things you just can't fit in the garage anymore. RV and boat storage spaces are also available, and along with packing and moving supplies. That's Bridgehead Self-Storage of Antioch behind Kmart off Highway 4. Thanks again to all our friends from Comcast Game of the Week.
Matt Mazzei, Coach Wim was just mentioning that to us. This is the Matt Mazzei Baseball Complex. He had a lot to do with getting this thing funded, and of course a beautiful complex with a full fence, foul poles. Brian Fiore is the new pitcher for the Panthers here in the sixth. We saw him against Ignacio Valley. Good fastball, curve changeup. Fiore is a sophomore, so we will obviously see him next year. He'll be the #1 pitcher probably for Antioch next year. Purchase your copy of this game, shipping courtesy of UPS included. Call 933-6264. Ryan Sprague, Bill Burmeister, in the top of the order, Corey Miller here in the bottom of the sixth for Clayton Valley. They lead 4-1. Fly ball, and that's going to be a tough play. We also have a new, well, actually we have Pantel playing second base. We have a new second baseman, but Pantel moved over to second base, and Torsha is now playing third base for Antioch as that ball falls in.
Those outfielders didn't want this one very bad. That ball's up there. No one's going all out to get there. We're kind of in cruise control right there.
That's the second time that's happened here in the ball game. McKinnon earlier in the game was there. Number 17 for Clayton Valley, Jeremy Bergeron, is the pinch runner at first base for Sprague.
I look for Burmeister to lay one down here. He'll put some pressure on you to throw him out at first with his speed.
So let's set this for you for Antioch. Fiore pitching to Camages, Torsha at third, Namini at short, Pantel at second, Frias at first, and the outfield is Sanchez, Long, and Hildebrandt. And here's Bill Burmeister, 0 for 2 in the ballgame. And he shows bunt and bunts it foul. You mentioned Burmeister has great speed, Coach. Yeah, well, it's a hot spot to be. And there's Joe Ocon, still recovering from the shot he took to the stomach.
He was on the DL last week.
He was on the DL. We had to I think it was a PO. We sent out a purchase order for a bulletproof vest for Joe. There's a bunt back to Fiore. Fiore looks at second, throws to first, gets the out. Advancing on the sacrifice, Bergeron, the pinch runner, to second. One down, and Miller will be the batter. There's Joe Ocon. Joe's a tough boy. He's a Raiders fan. He's faced tougher than that line drive in the black hole. Come on. Miller has been up 3 times. He's 0 for 2. A walk, reached on a strikeout and an error on the catcher, and then lined out to first baseman Frias. Hit that ball very hard back in the 4th inning.
Yes, he did. Put a good swing on it.
Four to 1 Clayton Valley.
For you young coaches, you can kind of see where Coach Ralston's standing down there. He's on his way down towards home plate so he can make a late decision on sending that runner. You want to wait as long as you can to decide what to do, and that's by moving down the line that gives you a chance to do that. The closer you are to the base, the quicker your decision has to be.
Miller fouled that pitch back. 2-1 to Miller. Wells the on-deck hitter for the Eagles. Ball 3, 3-1. Miller is a senior. Good batting average, .358 coming into today's game. That's fouled off. It'll be a full count now on Corey Miller. Miller also has made a couple of nice defensive plays in the field today, Coach.
Very good. Gets a great jump on the ball. And getting a jump on the ball is just as important as having good speed. And when you put both those two together, you can cover a lot of ground.
Time called at the plate by Miller.
And just because you ask for time doesn't mean you get time. The umpire has to acknowledge it. So if you're going to call timeout, you can call it, but you still want to be ready. Still want to be ready to go.
Ground ball up the middle.
Ball's got spin on it.
Namany, it did. Coach, you called that the minute he hit it. That inside-out left-hand swing and went over the mound. Had that kind of weird English on it. Now that's a tough one, Coach, because I don't know if Namany would have got Miller if he had made the play here. So we're going to defer to you on this one.
I still think he's going to make that play.
Okay.
Right through there, though, it's tough. Brian Oliver, when he was playing shortstop for us, he would make that play and you wouldn't even notice it was a bad hop. He just was so smooth and could react to things like that so quickly. He really spoiled me.
And of course, he had a partner there at second base that you might have heard of, Aaron Miles.
Yep.
And one of these days, Coach, we're going to have to ask you. We'll go through all the positions and ask you who your all-time great Antioch player is.
Okay. Well, I might be able to tell you at each position.
That's what I mean.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Oliver and Miles would be your second baseman and shortstop.
2 All-Americans. They led the nation in double plays their senior year with 29. Great swing.
Base hit. Another run is going to come in to score on the hit by Wells. So Antioch's defense has really let them down in this game. If you take away the 3 runs, basically the errors have let them into this ball game, it'd be 2-1 on the home run.
That breaking ball just kind of hung up there. He stayed back and then hit it to left field. It's a great piece of hitting there. He recognized it early, stayed back, and hit it well to left field. Stayed inside the ball.
RBI single for Wells, his first hit of the ball game. He's 1 for 3. He's on at first. Miller's at second. 1 out, and here's Locks, who's 0 for 2. Runner goes. Kamaja's throw is there, and he's out. They throw back to second, almost get the other runner. So Miller is out on a nice throw by Kamajas. On the caught stealing, Wells.
He's called out of third base. You also have to think how many more runs might Clayton have scored today if they weren't thrown out on the bases.
They've been caught stealing and had a number of guys picked off.
Good pitch.
Fiore threw a fastball right by Locks. Wells is now at second base as he moved up on that steal attempt by Miller. And of course another kind of controversial call. We've had just about everything questioned since the timeout, Coach, it seems like.
Yep. But Clayton Valley's pitching has held true to form. They've done a great job there, and it's kept them in the game here today.
You know, one of the hard things, Coach, I notice here is, you know, in the good old days back in when everyone just slid with their legs, it was a lot easier to tell if someone was out or safe, because two big legs going in is a lot easier to see than one little hand.
Yep.
And a lot of times it looks like from here that the guy was out. Like on the first time, I thought the guy was out, and then you show the replay and he looks safe. On that last one, it was very close.
Right.
That ball's popped up on the infield. Oh, and we nearly had a collision on Highway 4. Blood Alley right behind the mound. Namini comes over to make the catch to retire the side.
I was just worried for Frias again.
I know, poor Mark Frias today. He's been hammered over there. 1 run in the 6th. We go to the 7th, 5-1 Clayton Valley.
Affordable, professional, and convenient auto care has arrived. Auto Care 2000. Auto Care 2000 works on American and foreign autos with friendly professional mechanics that know your auto inside and out. Auto Care 2000 will even take your used oil and filter. Caring for our environment, that's Auto Care 2000, open 7 days a week. Auto Care 2000 at 3405 Clayton Road in Concord. Auto Care for the next century and beyond.
Now there's a drug available all across America.
Ecstasy changed my life.
Ecstasy is not for everyone. In fact, it's not for anyone. New studies show that ecstasy is toxic to the body. Side effects may include depression, severe anxiety, hypertension, heat stroke, seizures, heart attacks, liver damage, kidney or cardiovascular system failure, worried parents, loss of friends, isolation, emptiness.
Ecstasy changed my whole life.
Ask your doctor and see why ecstasy isn't right for you.
Top of the 7th inning from Clayton Valley High School. The Eagles 5-1 over Antioch here, and Scott Gorgon on to work in the 7th inning looking for a complete game. He's given up only 2 hits to the Panthers today. And the first pitch to Jason Namini is fouled back. His father is also here in the stands today, Lee, graduate of Antioch High School. And I'm sure looking forward to his softball game tonight because he's in the same league.
All right. Nice fastball on the outside.
Right off of Stoiber. So this one right now, Coach, is coming in unless there's something drastic happening in under 2 hours, it looks like.
Could beat the softball game.
There's a strike. Last week, Coach, in our opening game, we scored 24 runs in the top of the 1st inning.
Wow.
You would not have been happy if you're the manager on the other side. 0-2 to Namini. Fastball outside. Namini's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Hildebrandt and Long will follow. Velocity Sports Performance in Concord. It's for all your athletes you're looking to train and send into the varsity level here in high school. Great place to send them. Oh, that was a nice, that's a wicked curve this late in the ball game.
Yep, he's got to be up, you know, over 80 pitches. He's still breaking it off late and hard.
Togos, that Togos right there is owned by Scott and Matt Gorgon's father. Nasho Valley Road at Oak Grove Road, not far from here. Thanks for the crew meal today, guys, and the sandwiches. It's a great place. Always love Togo sandwiches, Coach.
Yep. Never get a bad one.
Nope. Logan Hildebrandt swinging at the first pitch, fouls it back. He's 0 for 2. Dylan Long will follow.
Logan put a good swing on his last at bat. See if he can get another one here. Scott threw a nice changeup between innings out there, and I haven't seen much of that today, but he threw a real nice changeup. I'd like to see him throw one. He hasn't thrown that very often.
There's a ball. You know, a lot of the things that have happened here today, Coach, are not necessarily things you can coach, but a lot of it's reaction type stuff.
And instinct, yeah.
And instinct, and knowing how to go back on a ball, not throwing a ball to first base, not throwing a pickoff move when you're not set. Just little things like that are coachable, but when you're out there on the mound, it's very hard to blame the coach on what you see because Image is a 3 hair salon, Auto Care 2000, 19th Hole Casino and Lounge, Randy's Carpet Care, Bridgehead Self Storage, Antioch Opticians, and Rock Bottom Records, our great friends of the program here. There's another foul ball.
That had to be a record for you.
Did I do that good?
Oh man, you were awesome. Did you? I think you only took one breath.
I don't even know if I took a breath. Yeah, I think Clayton Valley at this point, right there with De La Salle, they get to play again later in the season over at De La Salle. We're going to see Clayton Valley again in a couple of weeks against Deer Valley, and I think that's another couple of teams that'll be battling.
Yep.
Deer Valley's going to have to start winning some games, though. They're under 500 for the season, and they're going to have to win out in the second half of the season. That's off the plate for a ball to get into the playoffs.
Yeah. They have played a tough preseason, though. They've had some tough games. But that's how you get better for league and get ready for postseason. But they're going to turn it up a notch here.
Popped up. Tough play, but the ball's blowing out now to center to Miller. Miller looks like Steve Finley out there.
Yes,
he
he
knows
does.
what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
I think all the Clayton Valley people, especially I think the Gorgon family, not only for the pitching, the home runs, and the Togo sandwiches, the Gorgons should order about 20 of these and hand them out for Christmas presents.
There you go.
Call 933-6264. 2 down now. Last hope for Antioch is Dylan Long, who's 1 for 2, but reached both times. He had another interesting stat line. He was a guy who reached on an air, stole a base, and then scored on an E4 after that ball that Sanchez hit ricocheted off the first baseman, and Gorgon threw the ball away, allowing the only Antioch run to score. There's a strike from Gorgon. And, yeah, Bob Ralston has a wealth of pitching talent on this team, Coach. There's absolutely no doubt about it. You're not even seeing the two that the paper talked about in the preview earlier this year.
You can never have too much pitching.
And, of course, in the case of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, you can never have any pitching.
That's true.
No, they had a couple of good young pitchers on that team, but they just doesn't seem to matter.
Watch out for those Tigers. They got some good young pitching.
Tigers are all right. That pitch is high. It's been a weird start. There's been some weird stuff going on, you know, and of course, a lot of relievers and a lot of guys are blowing. Not just Benitez. I mean, Mariano Rivera's blown a bunch of games, and that's happening a lot here lately. There's a hard hit ground ball off of Barrow's shoulder, recovers, throws. I think you got to give him a hit on that.
I do too.
Coach.
That ball came up on him late. It didn't give him a true hop.
Yep, that was actually threw it up there with a little looked like a goalie. Yeah. I forgot what goaltending looked like that, Coach.
He stayed down really well on the ball and it just came up on him. There's nothing you can do about that.
There used to be this sport they played on ice where the guy would throw his shoulder up at stuff. You remember that sport?
Vaguely, yeah.
It's not lacrosse.
Curling?
Yeah, curling. That's what they do to my hair. Jason Sanchez, the batter, 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 5th inning. And probably we might see a pinch hitter if Jason gets on, because Fiore entered in the spot vacated by McKinnon when Pantel moved to second base. So could see a pinch hitter here for Antioch, perhaps Sean Harper. A pitch off the plate. Actually, Fiore is out in the on-deck circle. 2-1 to Sanchez. 2 down here in the 7th. There's a strike. Gorgon's still throwing hard. 2-2.
First baseman playing behind the runner. Smart move.
Actually, it's 2-1.
Whoops.
Now 3-1.
Well, he wants to finish it. You can tell he wants to finish this game off.
Well, his bullpen is about 90 feet away from him.
Yep.
Although they do have another good pitcher, Sean Burns, a sophomore they could use. That ball's hit
that
very
really well
out into the gap, and that's going to get up the alley into right center field. Here comes Long. Sanchez on his way to third with a triple, and Antioch not giving up here in the 7th inning, now 5-2. Sanchez, that might have been the best hit ball all day for Antioch, Coach.
Yeah. The ball was up. He took advantage of it and drove it to right center. The center fielder was playing. You can see the center fielder playing a little bit on the other side of second base. So he had a long way to go.
And that'll do it for Gorgon. You could see that he hit that well. And that's like a no man's land out there. That's kind of like a mini Pac Bell out there against the scoreboard. There's Dylan Long coming in to score. So Sanchez with a triple and an RBI. It's 5-2. And Matt Gorgon is going to come in to pitch here with 2 outs. Number 4 for Clayton Valley, Ryan Nist, will be the second baseman. So let's make those changes while Gorgon comes in here to warm up. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back to wrap this one up. It's 5-2 Clayton Valley.
Take advantage today with rates at record lows. Charter Funding Incorporated of Antioch is your local mortgage broker whose commitment is service with integrity. Charter Funding Incorporated works with many lenders to find the best program to fit your needs. First-time home buyers, 100% financing, no down payment, and interest only. No one is left out. Whether it's a rate reduction, cash out, new purchase, good or bad credit, let the professionals at Charter Funding Incorporated handle all your loan details. Call us today at 776-1700.
It doesn't matter what sport you play. It doesn't matter what position you play. It doesn't matter whether you're turning pro or just starting out. It doesn't even matter how old you are. If you want to maximize your potential, you need Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
Scott Gorgon worked 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. He's on the hook for Sanchez at third, walked 1, struck out 5, and his brother Matt Gorgon is in. Coach, the stats on Matt Gorgon so far?
11 plus innings. Yeah, 10 plus innings, but he's got a high. Where are we at here?
I'm sorry. You can't read them very well. It's 15 innings, actually, I believe. 1-2 record. He did not get the decision the other day. He did lose the game. I believe he pitched the entire game against De La Salle the other day.
And he threw 3 breaking balls that did not go over the plate during warm-up. So if you're watching that, you might spin on it until you get 2 strikes.
Here's Brian Fiore. He entered the game and pitched in the top of the 7th, and he's in the spot of McKinnon, the number 9 batter in the lineup. And there's a ball. Kamajas is on deck. Antioch down by 3 here in the 7th inning. Runner at third, 2 down. There's a strike. There's not a, well, they are twins, so there's not a lot of difference in watching these two guys. It's not like watching Juan Marichal and Fernando Valenzuela.
There you go.
Inside. If it's possible, I think Matt throws a little harder. His ball seems to dive a little bit more.
He's got a little more movement.
Be pitching at Cal next year. There's a strike, 2-2. So Antioch now down to their last strike. There's Coach Ralston. Oh, it's 3-1?
Yeah, he called that a ball.
Oh, yeah, I thought he called it a strike, so it's 3-1. Fouled back. Good cut that time by Fiore.
Good pitch and good swing.
Larry, when he makes his calls, a lot of times it's kind of a grunt, and it sounds similar, ball and strike. I never called a ball when I umped. I only called a strike. I figured that if you figured that out after the 2nd or 3rd inning, you know you're not going to get a sound that means it was a ball. Because a lot of guys just go, here, no matter what they call. 3-2 pitch, fouled back. Fiore up there hacking here in the 7th inning. We were headed to under 2 hours, Coach, and I think we're right on it now, just about 2 hours for this ball game. It's 5:43 in Contra Costa County on a Thursday afternoon. Full count, runner at third, 2 down. And there's a walk. So Fiore, that's a nice at bat for the sophomore. He walks, and the tying run is up. I would say it'd probably be a big stretch to think that Jason could hit a 3-run homer unless it was an inside the park type of home run, because he is not a big power hitter, but he's more of a slash hitter. And you never know with the sun or someone diving what would happen, but he does have good speed. So.
And he has put a real good swing on a ball yet today. He's due. He's a prototype solid hitter. Does a good job getting inside out of the ball.
He's 0 for 3. Is his 4th plate appearance. There's a curve down low. So Gorgon, who got pulled out of the Deer Valley game in the 3rd inning the other day after a 4-pitch walk, and that's where Barrow came in and got the 5-inning save and actually winning the game, is having a little bit of trouble here with Antioch here in the 7th. 2-0 to Kamajas. And Kamajas, one thing about him, too, is he does seem to have a good eye up there when need be.
And does hit the ball where it's pitched, too. Does a great job taking the ball away if the pitch is away. And turns on it if the ball's in.
Sanchez at third, Fiore at first. The tying run at the plate is Kamajas. 5-2 Clayton. That ball's fouled off. And I think that one ended up in the dining room of one of the nearby homes, Coach.
We hope the window was open.
Well, you'd be sitting there watching the late news or the early evening news, and the ball comes bouncing in through the backyard. They might have to have some sort of screening in those backyards to keep the windows safe. 2-1 pitch.
There you go.
Base hit. Right up the middle. Kamajas took that ball. Miller, the throw back in, but Kamajas with the hit and the RBI single. Sanchez scores, and Sanchez had the big hit, the triple.
His best swing of the day right there. Got fully extended, took the ball right back where it came from, up the middle.
Fiore is now at second base. Kamajas at first.
Beautiful piece of hitting inside out. Clayton Valley positioning their outfielders. Playing nice and deep, so ball can't get past them.
So now the go-ahead run is at the plate. The tying run at first, and Pantel, who's 0 for 3 but has made contact each time, is the batter. Nice curve from Gorgon, strike one. You do not want to see the man on deck step into the batter's box, Coach. Even though he does not have a hit, well, he does have the one infield single, but he has not hit the ball really hard. You know that he can. Curveball, base hit, left field.
Hold him up.
They're gonna hold Fiore.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You do not want him thrown out at home with Torsha standing in the on-deck circle. Well, this one has become our most exciting ball game of the year, folks. Here's a replay of the hit.
Breaking ball. Stayed on it real nice. Hit it right in the 6 hole. Anytime you can get the tying run or winning run on base, you've done your job.
So Gorgon comes in, walks Fiore. Base hits by Kamajas and by Pantel. And here's Torsha with the bases loaded. Antioch down by 2 in the top of the 7th inning. And you can't ask for any more than this, Coach.
A big key here for Brandon is to relax, let the game come to him. Don't get too keyed up and jump in a marginal pitch until you get 2 strikes. It's a great matchup here.
It is. 2 of the top players in the league. Gorgon against Torsha here in the 7th inning. Ball low. 1-0. Here's a look at the bases. Over at third base, Fiore. Second base, Kamajas. First base, Pantel. 5-3. 2 runs in here in the 7th for Antioch. Curveball. I think Torsha was guessing that, and he just let it go. But that's the same pitch that Pantel just ripped for a single.
You hit that with 2 strikes. He's fine. Great pitch, though.
1-1 pitch here. Curveball, strike 2.
That had a little more slide on it and a little more late break.
And it was lower.
Yes.
It didn't break at the letters.
Okay, now he's got to cover that whole dish.
1-2 to Torsha.
Ooh.
And he overthrew that, but Fiore is going to hold. Sounds like they had something dead in that because it didn't sound like wood.
I think there's a pad back here.
There's a pad behind us. 2-2 to Torsha. I think Gorgon really overthrew that pitch. He probably has the blood flowing right now, Coach.
If you're a Dodger fan, you missed a good game here.
Oh, hit hard but foul. He was behind. Now see, that time I think Torsha was guessing curve all the way and was waiting for the break on that ball and had to just at the last second slice that ball off to protect. One thing, Coach, I think a single will tie this game because their outfield is deep, and I haven't seen anyone throw yet from the outfield that would tell me that they're going to be able to beat Kamajas with a lead.
And especially with 2
2 outs.
Especially with 2 outs, they're running.
There's Locks in right, and then look at Miller in center. And then, of course, over in left, Burmeister, the sophomore.
Come on, just watch the work on getting a good secondary without being himself vulnerable to be picked off from the catcher.
Great ending irregardless here. 2-2 to Torsha. Bases loaded. 2 down. Antioch trails by 2. Here's the pitch. Oh, line drive. Barrow catches it, and Antioch is denied with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. But what a game, Coach. It came all the way back. Clayton Valley wins 5-3, but neither team has anything to be embarrassed about their effort out here today. We'll be back to wrap it up in 3 minutes here on Comcast.
I got one.
Quick, reel it in.
Hey, look, it's already marinated.
No, it's dead, and it's covered with oil and grime. And you don't marinate fish.
It's dead, but why?
Because of that guy. He's dumping his used oil and filter on the ground next to the delta.
Look, here comes Mr. Funnelhead to save the delta.
No, the world.
Hey, stop that! Don't you know that by dumping your used oil and filters into the delta, you're destroying our water supply? Too many gallons of used oil and sewage have already contaminated our waters. And even though the average used oil filter looks empty, it still contains up to a cup of used motor oil. Take your used oil and filters to a certified used oil recycling center where they can properly recycle the oil and filter for a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Back at Clayton Valley High School, 5-3, Clayton Valley over Antioch. I wouldn't say it was a well-played game. There were 10 errors in the game, Coach.
Hard-fought game.
It was a hard-fought game, and it was a good competitive high school ball game. You got to give Antioch credit, facing 2 of the best pitchers in the area. They fought back, and I think it was one of those games where if we had been playing another inning, Antioch might have come back because they really seemed to start hitting the ball there in the 7th inning.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like you ran out of innings and not out of time.
Here's the totals for today's game. Clayton Valley, 5 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors, 5 runners left on base. For Antioch, 3 runs, 6 hits, 6 errors, and 6 runners left on base. Scott Gorgon gets the win, Brandon Torsha the loss. Time of the game, 2 hours and 5 minutes. The only home run in the ball game. Matt Gorgon hit a home run for Clayton Valley in the 4th inning, his first, a 2-run homer. There was no game-winning RBI. The game-winning run scored on an error. And so Clayton Valley still in the thick of things in the BVAL, of course, Coach. Now 3-1. Antioch falls to 1-3. But Antioch has played the 3 top teams ahead of them. So
Correct.
Antioch might now, if they can catch a break against the lower half by the end of the second, going in the second half of the season with either a 3-4 or 4-3 record. But they seem to be improving.
Yep.
So we wrap up another one here from Concord and Clayton Valley High School. We want to say thanks to all of the great friends of the program as both teams are meeting out on the field. Coach Ralston and Coach Martin talking to their troops. The Comcast Game of the Week brought to you by these great friends of the program. Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Brennan Theaters in Concord and Pittsburgh. Kurt's Equipment Rental. Velocity Sports Performance in Concord. Contra Costa Clean Water Program in Mr. Funnelhead. Mazet Pontiac in Pittsburgh. Charter Funding Incorporated in Antioch. Fitness 19, where you can afford to be fit. Togo's Great Sandwiches in Walnut Creek. Images of 3 Hair Salon, Auto Care 2000, the 19th Hole Casino and Lounge, Randy's Carpet Care, Bridgehead Self-Storage, Antioch Opticians, and Rock Bottom Records. We haven't made a decision on our next game, folks. We're going to film it on the 28th. We'll show it to you on the weekend of April 30th and May 1st. Could be anywhere in the great Contra Costa area, all the great baseball played here in high school. For John Whitman, this is Dan Wall reminding you of our final score. Clayton Valley 5, Antioch 3. This has been a high school sports production brought to you by Comcast and Walnut Creek. Thanks for watching and good night.